Okay, thank you once more for making it today and being with me in my first webinar. Let me first tell you about myself. My name is Sarah Imam, and I have been teaching for a long time, around 16 years, maybe more. I'm not only in the teaching career, but I have been working as academic director in one of the online academies, and I have worked in a lot of countries. I have taught different students from different nationalities, and I'm very passionate towards teaching, actually. That's why I would like to share my knowledge with everyone. And of course, today, yeah. My workshop is about classroom management and how to build a rapport with your students. So let's get it started. Okay, that's a little bit about about myself. My name is Sarah Ma'am, and I got a certificate as a teacher trainer from Arizona State University. I have another certificate from Qatar University and MOE in Qatar. I got a leadership program from Sri Lanka, and I'm Classera certified ed teacher. And I'm really very happy to be with you today. I'm quite aware most of people in Qatar are so curious on getting job and they don't know from where to start to be a good teacher. I have seen a lot of questions from different people on different pages asking how to teach this kind of subject or how to deal with the students. They have a lot of inquiries and a lot of questions on how to start in the teaching career or in the field of education. Okay, so I choose this topic actually because I think the key of a successful classroom is the teacher and the management technique of the teacher and how to build a rapport with your student. Your relationship with your student is something very important, and it leads to a really successful environment and successful class as well. Okay, let's start with this picture. I would like every one of you to share in the messages. Tell me, how do you feel seeing this picture? Describe this picture in one word. How do you feel seeing this picture? Or have you ever been in this situation before? I'm waiting for your answers in the chat box. It's a messy class, definitely. What else? Thank you, Mariam, for sharing. Have you ever seen this situation before? Yeah, and it's difficult to control, definitely. Hmm? Specifically in the boys class, I have been there, Rana, and I know how it feels teaching boys, actually. It's a chaotic one. Yeah, it's a chaotic class. Definitely. Okay, I think most of us have been in this situation or have seen this situation before, especially when we have a session after a break time or maybe after a PE session. We find the students are so messy, they are upside down, they don't want to calm, they don't want to sit down and listen to us. So actually we need to change the way we manage them. We need to change the way we deal with them to let them relax and to let them sit down so we can say and explain what we want to say. Yeah. Or at the end of the day, 7 sessions. Yeah, let me tell you that I've been there, and I remember the seventh session is always a mess, uh, especially in the primary schools. Most of the students are carrying their bags. They just want to go home, and they don't think of anything except being outside of the school. All right. Okay, let me tell you that the key of having a good management in your class is to be a teacher. What does it mean to be a teacher? Not any person or not any character suits to be a teacher. To be a teacher means you take care of your actions, your behavior inside the classroom and outside the classroom as well. As long as you are in the school, you need to maintain a character of a good teacher or a character of a teacher. Don't deal as if you are at home, or don't deal too friendly. You have to be strict when it needs. You have to be firm when it needs. You have to be friendly when it needs. And definitely, it's nice to add some fun to the class, but to limits as well. Don't be too easy with the students, because actually students are noticing you in every single situation you are doing. They notice you when you eat, they notice you when you talk to your friend. So you have to take care of the way you behave, the way you laugh, the way you walk. Just maintain a character of a teacher. Remember one of the good teachers you used to love back in your school, and try to act like them, even if it's not your character. But this is your job. You want to do it successfully. So you need to change the way you deal with people or the students to be a good teacher inside the school campus. Okay. Actually, there are so many different management styles. Every one of us has a different management style. One of the teachers is like the one in the picture now. She likes to make or turn the class as if it's a game show. She likes to attract the attention of the students through having fun, through learning through fun activities. She likes to implement different strategies, different techniques with her students. And actually, I'm one of those students. I'm one of those teachers who like to maintain this kind of management style in my class. I think that it's really very nice and very successful with everyone who maintains this management style. They notice that the students like very much to have fun inside the class through learning. So it's something really magnificent, and I'd like every one of you to try it out, because it works really well with most of us. The second management style is to be a social worker. The social worker from the picture is the one who listens to their students, the one who calls the students when they are absent, the one who notices that this student is not in the mood today, so I have to make something to cool up the things and to make him back to the mood. The one who notices that this student is hungry, or maybe he lost his sandwich, so I have to buy something for him. So it's very nice and very humane to act like a mom sometimes, and to act like a friend, to act like someone who's very close to the students. And this style is really very successful with me as well. The third management style is to be like a grandma. Like our grandmas are really very caring, overprotective. They are spoon feeding. Whenever we go to the house of our grandma, she wants to give us everything. She wants to spoil us. She wants to do everything for us. And for me as a teacher, I don't think that this is a successful management style, because it makes the student very dependent. So I urge most of the teachers who teach young learners not to be a grandma, because when those kids come to us in primary stages, in high school, middle school, they are so spoiled, and they want to get back to the teacher in cages because she spoils them. Okay. The third one is like you see in the picture, the drill sergeant, someone who's very domineering, very dominant, controlling. Remember back when we were at a school, when we were students, every one of us had this teacher that everyone fears. And I don't think that this is a very successful situation. It's not relaxing, and it's not a healthy environment for students to live in. So I don't recommend anyone to be acting very controlling and to be very strict with the students to this limit. Okay, so now in the chat box, let me ask you, which one are you? Which one of these are you? Which management style do you have and do you implement with your students? I'll be following the chat box. Rabia, you are the social worker. That's very kind. Okay. The first one, the gamer. Me too. Shaza, I'm the gamer also. This is a very, very successful management style. Social worker, gamer, gamer. Most of you are gamers, and this is very clever. Yeah. Malak, Pamela. That's very nice. Okay, I believe that the teacher or any teacher should be a mixture of all this. We should maintain more, like all the management styles, maintain part of here and there. And whenever, and it depends on the situation itself. Sometimes the situation needs the teacher to be very human and to be very passionate. So you need to be a social worker. Sometimes you act as a grandma forcibly. Maybe this student forgot his sandwich, so you need to bring one for him, buy something from the canteen for him. So you are a grandmother in this part. So we need to be clever and know which situation needs which management style, actually. Do you agree? Yeah. Thank you, Mala. Definitely. Aisha, Samina, Rabia, thank you. According to the situation, definitely. Okay, the first and the most important thing every teacher should do once she starts the school year or the academic year is to having a classroom rule and setting routine for her student. Every teacher has her own routine and her own rules, but there are like a big umbrella for the classroom rules all of us should follow. And I believe that most of us as experienced teachers, even beginners, we know what are the classroom rules. So let me show you this video. In this video, I'm telling you one of the ideas you can implement with your students in the first week, which is the orientation week, as a way of setting routine and as a way of making an agreement with your student to have a routine inside your classroom for the end of the year. So let me share this with you. More brave and socialized and able to speak up their minds, okay? The second activity is about classroom rules or rules of respect. It's like an agreement I'm going to do with my students. So all during the year, I do not struggle with them in behavior issues. You understand me? Okay? First, we should do like a brainstorming. And what's brainstorming? It's like I'm refreshing their mind. I'm asking them about the topic before starting explaining it. Okay? Like before doing an activity about the classroom rules, I should first ask them, what do you know about the classroom rules? Do you know it or not? Okay? So who can tell me what should I do in the class, for example? What should I do and what I shouldn't do in the class? As a student, of course. I should raise up my hand before I talk. Excellent. What else? What I shouldn't do? No side talks. No side talks, of course. This thing annoys us teachers so much, okay? After discussing and brainstorming the classroom rules, I'm going to give each group of them a hand like this. They are supposed to do it themselves in the class, but because we do not have much time, I did it at home. This is my hand, but it's a little bit bigger. Okay. Here, I'm asking each group to write in the fingers one of the classroom rules. Okay? The classroom rules. What we should do. And after this, we're going to stick it in our wall or in our chart or whatever. So it is in front of them during the year. Whenever they do anything not correct, I'm telling them, look, this is your hand. You said you're going to do this and this and this. It's like a promise between us. Okay? Do you want to? Okay, this was one of the ideas I like to do with my students in the beginning of the year. Is cutting a paper on the shape of their fingers or their hand, and in every finger they have to write one of the classroom rules, and they sign down with their names. I hang it on the wall, all during the year. So once they do something that disagrees with the classroom rules that they implemented or they wrote by themselves, I tell them, see, you promised me that you're going to do that and that, but you didn't. It's really something very nice. And I tried this out and it worked so well. If any of you wants to participate by one of the activities they did concerning the classroom rules, they may share with me now. You may raise your hand if you want to participate with one of the ideas you implemented with your students and it worked well with you. Anyone is willing to share something? Even by writing, if you don't want to talk, you may write. Okay, did you like the idea? Singing the classroom rules, that's really nice. And I'm gonna talk about this later also. Thank you, Rana. Singing works well with young learners. All right. Yeah. Obviously, you're teaching early years, right? Okay, perfect. Something which is very important for every teacher to notice is to taking care of the physical setting of her classroom. We have two pictures here, and it's very clear that both classes are not the same. Definitely, most of us like to sit on the class on the left, and the reasons are there. The class on the left is very shiny, has a lot of charts, has a lot of attractive things. It is organized. Even the chairs are designed or they are organized in a way that's suitable for the students. All of us would like to have a class like that one. So you have to take care of your classroom. If you are starting your class and it's full of rubbish, it's not very clean, maybe you are busy, you don't notice this, but this will affect the psychology of the students, and they will not be happy during this session. So you need to take care, take a couple of minutes to arrange the class and clean it before you start. It makes a huge difference in the psychology of the participants and in the psychology of the audience. Someone is saying motivating. Very good. Okay, so what if your class is really very tight? It's not as spacious. You don't have a big space to do a lot of things. Sometimes we have things that we do not need, but we don't even have time to think that we don't need this item. In some class, we may have a very old PC on a desk in the corner, and nobody is working on it, and we still keep it inside the classroom. It's very important to have to be alert. You have to be aware of what's happening in your class. It's not about entering the class, giving the lesson, lecturing the students, and go out. No, you have to teach with passion. Have a passion. Act as if this class is your home. The way you like your home clean and the way you like it shiny every day. Act with your students in the same mentality and in the same psychology. So it's very nice to remove all the oversized furniture, remove it outside. If there is a chair, this student is always not there, or extra chair. So don't keep it inside the classroom. Arrange it in a way allows you to see all the students in front of you. If it's a U shape, it's better in your class, make it a U shape. If it's nice to sit in groups, make it groups. If it's nice to be sitting in a way that you see is suitable, do it. Don't wait for other teachers to do it for you. So you have to take the initiative always to do whatever you see. Implement your vision, your point of view. It's very nice with young learners to set up an accessible library inside the classroom, make a corner, ask every student to bring a book they like and put it there. Sometimes in some sessions, we have extra time at the end of the class. Maybe we are done with everything. It's very nice if you take it as 5 minutes, free 5 minutes, and ask each student to pick up one of their favorite book and start reading or coloring on them or do any extracurricular activity. Okay. This is one of the way you can arrange your classroom. Okay, now let me ask you, what is one thing in your class that prevents you from making a good management? Every one of you, tell me, why do you think you can't manage your class well? What is one thing from the things we discussed together is not there in your class and you feel like it acts like an obstacle in your way of making a successful management for your classroom? Some people demonstrate expectations. Very good. Very good. Sometimes, very tiny issues, but they turn out to be big. Like maybe it's very hot and you don't have air conditioning, you just have a fan. This will ruin your whole year, academic year. Yani sometimes some people don't notice that this is very tiny. Maybe the administration doesn't notice that having a fan is something nice. It works well. It will provide you with the air. But for you, with the big number of the students, it's really hot and it doesn't make you work effectively in the class. So sometimes our classroom contains things that act against our will. Okay, not in my class, but lights. Even this point is very important. The lighting is very important. Sometimes it's very gloomy and dull. All during the year, you turn on the light as if you're switching it off. It doesn't really matter. It affects the vision of the teacher, the vision of the students. And I advise you to talk with your administration about this. Maybe they are helping and they will listen to you. Okay. The tone of voice of the teacher is something very important. It's not nice to speak in a really low voice or in a really very high voice. Some teachers speak very, very loudly to the extent some of the students come back home with headache. Maybe you are overwhelmed in the middle of the class and the session, and you don't notice that your sound is too loud. And this affects the students very much, especially if they are young learners. I have one of my kids, she used to hate going to school because her teacher, the tone of the voice of her teacher is really very sharp, and this affected her very much. She couldn't stand hearing her every day, imagine. So you have to maintain a good tone of voice and train yourself on how to speak with a pleasant sound with your students. Okay. As one of you said, one of the nice techniques we use with young learners is singing a song. And these are examples of some songs we may sing with our students. Like, for example, reach up high. Students reach up their arms high. Reach down low. They put their hands low. Sit down and start the show. Reach up high. Reach down low. Let's sit down and start the show. They like these kinds of songs. Also, class, class. Yes, yes, yes. 1, 2, 3. Look at me. Okay. 1, 2. Eyes on you. These kind of songs are really very nice for young learners. It's very nice to address your students with their names and try to figure out their needs and try to address their needs. Create a sense of order inside of your classroom. Greet the students at the door every day. Be smiley, even if you have problems at home. Try to keep them away once you enter the class. It's not their business that you have problems. This is your job. You have to do it perfectly. Even if you are not paid well, by the way, but you agreed on being in this job, So try to act perfectly as if or as the way you want your own kids to be treated at school, treat other kids. Okay, see this teacher, how he greets his students every day by having a smile, shaking hands, having a high five, fist bump, or a hug. That's a very nice idea also. Okay, it's nice to have a discipline chart on your wall. Motivate your students, reward them when they really deserve. And even if they don't deserve, reward them. Rewarding and motivation makes miracles. Even if they are weak, motivate them. Even if they say something very small, even if they don't know the answer, the more you motivate them, the more they will exert to please you. So motivation makes miracles, actually. One of the tools I like to use, the electronic tools I like to use with my students is Class Dojo. It's an online tool you can use with your students to motivate them. And it's really very nice because once you press on anything or once you motivate your students, the parent knows that you motivated his kid this time or at this moment, and this makes them very happy. So let me show you how it works. It's really very easy, and I suppose most of you know how to work with it, but let me show you. Maybe we have newcomers or something in the teaching and they don't know how to use it. Okay, you need to sign up. You need to sign up using your email, your name. This is my class. For example, this is my class. I have 2 students, and I may add more by typing the student name, Hamad, for example. Okay. Last name. All right, I press on save. The student is added successfully. Now Hamad did something nice. I want to reward him. I press on his name and I press on the task or the reward I want to choose. Maybe he's working very hard today. So I'm going to press here to give him a point. Wow, amazing job, Hamad. He did something really nice. He worked with the team. So I press on here. Okay. And this is most of the time is connected with the parents' devices. So they get notification every time their kid does something well. Okay, Rana is saying that even with upper grades, when they see their names on group names, they do their best to be special. That's really true. Class 1 to 3 is the same way. There is another tool called Class 1 to 3. It's the same idea of Class Dojo also. Okay. All right, guys. Let me take a memory photo. Okay. Thank you so much for attending my session. I'm really very glad to be having you today. And I really would like to thank every one of you for attending. I know it's weekend and most of you want to enjoy their time with their families. But I know it's also a free time, so we need to make good use of it. Thank you once more, and I would like to see you more participating in the upcoming webinars. I hope my upcoming webinars also will please you and please your taste. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm receiving very nice messages here. Let me take a photo of this also. Thank you. Okay, bye for now. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you. Let me take this. Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.